Here we go. Another version, edition, broadcast episode of What's Involved. As you know, this is where I get to talk about things happening in my life and what I'm doing about it. And, well, it's been a while since we've chatted. Can I think of an excuse for it? No. No, I know there's all sorts of rules about how much you should post and when you should post and what you should do. Truth be told, I didn't feel like it. Didn't feel like doing much of anything. So what has happened, I'm sure I've mentioned, the nerve stimulation, nerve conduction tests came back worse. So my polygam schedule is now up to once every 4 weeks. Needless to say, stuffed it up this last time and missed it by more than a week. I was in on Friday and chatted to the doc. I now have my own specialist physician to add to my list of ologists and ishans. So we'll see what happens there. My diabetes has been totally out of control, so I've been fighting to do that. And I know that I've spoken about, what can I do? Not just the victim, okay? Not just the martyr saying, poor, poor me, look at me. So anyway, hospital stay, fairly uneventful. I got a private room, which means I was the only one there. It's the only difference really between that and a ward. Don't get better food, don't get better attention, very much the same. Hang on a sec. No, excuse me. Annoying dry cough that won't go away. Probably something to do with the vaping. An interesting thing happened though. There was a guy in a ward probably, 3 doors down from me. I'm not sure what he was in for and just making sort of, picking up on the tail ends of various conversations from the nurses. He did have a bit of a mental challenge. But for some reason, visiting hours on the Friday afternoon when I was there, he decided that it was a fairly good idea to chat up the wife of the guy next to him. So the guy next to him, his wife and daughter were visiting, and he thought it was a particularly good idea to chat them up, and apparently in a not so subtle way. So they complained to the nurses station, as is their right. Okay, the next second, the guy in another bed went to the bathroom. This same guy who just previously chatted up mother and daughter grabbed his phone and phoned his wife and started chatting her up. Now, on the one hand, you look at that and it's tragic. But also bear in mind, I'm in a cancer and oncology ward, and you have to find humor where you can. And just watching the consternation that this man caused and how they were trying to deal with it I found it funny. Okay, I'll tell you funny stories about me doing dumb things all the time. But eventually they decided they couldn't leave him on the ward because he would escape and then go and cause trouble wherever he was. So eventually they found a private room for him in another ward where he wouldn't cause trouble, presumably. And as they were wheeling him out, and I could hear the sisters sort of saying, okay, finally we made a plan. I hear him going, hang on a second, I just want to say goodbye. And he jumps out of that wheelchair and he barrels down the length of the ward again, wanting to go and say goodbye to all these new friends and particularly, visiting hours, all the hot babes that were there. And as I said, I had to find it funny because otherwise what? Otherwise you start to think about who the person is and what their problems are. That rabbit hole is not one to go down. So talking about rabbit holes and going down them, I know we've spoken and I said, for me, we're looking at some alternative ways of doing things now. And I don't like the use of alternative, different, maybe ancient, maybe traditional. So one of the things that's different is I've been eating a very low-carb diet, low to no carbs, in fact. So I'm finally starting to get some semblance of order in terms of my sugar levels, okay? I am still going to see the specialist physician. So he reckons there's some new stuff out and about that's going to help there. So that's a positive. Meditation, which I was telling you I do every day, not so much. And I think, I don't know, this is part of it. I think you get to the stage and you're kind of going, okay, I'm committed, I'm doing this, and then you start feeling so bad that you don't want to do anything. So you don't, but that's probably when you should. And then what else was I going to share with you? And then the writing. Yeah, the writing, my sort of daily logbook about what happens, how I feel, what are my thoughts. That's out of the window. So what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm a failure? Does it mean I am not in integrity with myself? Yeah, that part I would agree with. I don't think I am, because I made agreements and I'm not keeping them. So I've got to get back on track there. Lately, I've been very focused on, healing the body and how the body can heal, and just looking at some of the stories and the techniques that are out around there, and looking at some people's miraculous recoveries. And I'm wondering to myself, are those miraculous recoveries because of the process or the methods that were used on them, or because they wafted themselves with feathers from some forest-dwelling bird that only lives in a remote corner of the African highlands or something? Or was it something else? Was it belief? Because our mind is an incredibly, incredibly powerful machine. And I don't think we understand just how powerful. Okay? And there's sort of all sorts of esoteric thought about where disease begins and what happens before it finally manifests in your body. Listening to that, whatever my sort of trauma or energy blockage or blockages is or are, certainly involved me not wanting to walk anywhere. But that's an aside. So I've been doing a lot of looking into the whole power of the mind and what the mind is capable. Of course, then I went down the rabbit hole of, who are you? Are you your mind? No. Are you your body? No. Because you feel that the bit that's thinking is not mind or body. So that's been a challenging or interesting thought pattern to develop over the while. But I think I'm going to be doing some more of that. I may or may not have told you, I am a master in neuro-linguistic programming person, and I've just recently finished, which surprised even me, the advanced Ericksonian hypnosis or hypnotherapist certification. So I believe a lot in this, hypnosis and being able to change states, etc., etc. Done a couple of recordings that I've put together that are designed for healing. Along the road there, I came up with the whole solfeggios and sacred frequencies, etc., etc. So there was another detour. You see, these things take time. But essentially where I am today. Yesterday, I thought I was going to be okay. Yesterday was Monday. I went in on Friday. Saturday, I thought I dodged a bullet. Sunday, I caught the full magazine. Yesterday, I was doing okay, and then crashed. Had trouble sleeping last night. Was up and about again at 3 o'clock this morning. And yet today is a new day. So I'm not going to make any sweeping statements about what I'm going to do and how clever I'm going to be and when I'm going to come up with what my answers are. What I'm looking for is your answers. I'm looking at your contribution. What are your experiences? What are your thoughts? Because this is not an I alone thing. I don't believe this whole having autoimmune diseases. I asked the doc on Friday. They've kind of said it's like trying to play whack-a-mole, sort of, finding out exactly what else I have. The CIDP is there, that's definite, and all their little tests show it. Myasthenia gravis is there. And then there's other ones that pop up and down and do all sorts of things which are causing all sorts of interesting reactions, like massive cramps. I've told you about those. So definitely CIDP and almost definitely myasthenia gravis. There could be a bit of stiff man syndrome involved there. And at this point, I'm telling you, there is a joke there, and I'm not going to use it. Okay? Good. All right, so that's about it. I'm going to see what happens and do this again when I can, and feedback on any more successes or failures that I've had. One of the NLP presuppositions that there is no failure, only feedback. So I've had quite a bit of feedback over the last little while. But as always, I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy the ramblings and the musings, then please just put your finger right and do it like the pros do it, David. Down there somewhere, there is the like and subscribe button, and please comment as well. I would dearly love to hear from you. For you poor suckers listening to the audio vision, you missed out on my gorgeous countenance. Yes, that was irony, sarcasm, all of that rolled into one. For those of you that are listening to the audio, please also, leave a review on iTunes or give it a like and whatever you need to do there. And grow this and talk. Add something to the conversation so that together we can all contribute to understanding these processes and understanding why we have them and what the heck we can do to get back to perfect health, which is what I'm aiming for. In sort of years, I am 56 years old, but inside my head, I still feel like that young, bright-eyed teenager that was ready to take on the world. I don't look like that anymore, but I certainly don't think I feel old or look that old. I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. But hey, 60 is the new 40, so let's see. Anyway, enough of my ramblings at this time. From me to each and every one of you, look after yourselves, take care. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I wish you nothing but the best, everything that you deserve. And if you're going through any health problems at the moment, or any problems, all over the interwebs, there's a way to get hold of me. You can get hold of me at David, what is your name again? David at what'sinvolved.co.za. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on those other picture things. Probably Facebook for the old twat, or an email. Okay? So chat to you soon. Until then, do take care and be